Hi guys, my name is Hugo Madsen. Do you also have one of these, a action camera or a GoPro, and you've been out swimming or snorkeling or diving and your footage looks a little bit like this? I'm here today to try to change that. I've been doing underwater videography for about 4 years now with various types of cameras. The action camera is definitely the easiest and cheapest way of getting started. Lately I've been using the GoPro Hero 8 and I'm actually really impressed with what this camera can do. So the benefits using a action camera is first of all the user friendliness. It's super easy to use. Second one is the stabilization. With this new GoPro Hero 8, the stabilization in the camera is just awesome. Another thing I like about it is the fisheye effect. So you get this really wide angle, which is great for underwater footage. Underwater, the light conditions change constantly, so to get the best performance I just keep it on auto, and it's also the easiest way of using it. So the first area I will cover to get the most out of your action camera is stability. So you want to keep it real stable to get that cinematic look, and one way of doing that is to get a tray or a handle. These are often just about $20, $30, and they make your footage look really nice. The key is to have two places of holding it so you can go in real smooth and stable. Another way to keep your camera real stable is using a tripod. So I've been using this Gorilla Pod underwater, and it allows me to get really nice and stable shots. And a cool thing is that if you just leave this on the seafloor, the fish is gonna come real close and you'll get some really awesome footage. So I definitely recommend getting a little Gorilla Pod. Second area I would like to talk about is the lighting. So when you go deeper than 5-10 meters, you kind of need to bring some kind of light to get the colors back. So if you look here, this is without a light, and this footage is with light, and they're both shot at about 20 meters depth. I've been using an 8000 lumen, very broad kind of light, which you want because of the fisheye effect on the camera. But any light over 2000 lumen will enhance your footage quite a lot. It's composition. So this is important in all types of photography and videography, but underwater, what you want to do is try to be creative, and especially with the camera like the GoPro, you can really find angles like shooting up from a cave, getting the silhouette, shooting straight ahead on the reef. You can also come really close to stuff and get that really cool wide lens effect. One thing you don't want to do is be just shooting straight down, because it gives a really boring perspective of the ocean. Fourth thing I'd like to talk about is slow motion. If you film in 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second or even 240, like this beast can do, you can slow it down quite a lot, and that gives it a really nice effect. So think about, before you get in the water, to bump up that frames per second, so you have the option of slowing down the footage afterwards. Next thing is the field of view. So with this new camera you can actually change your field of view. So if you want to have a more narrow perspective or a fisheye, you can change a little bit. This will really make the footage cooler when you edit it into a video. So the next tips I'm going to give you is color correct your footage. This is something you do in post-production. I'm using Adobe Premiere Pro, so I'm going to show you a little bit what I do to get that footage to look really nice.
Hey guys, now we're in Adobe Premiere Pro, and I have this clip that I recorded at about 10 meters depth, and as you see it looks a bit green. So what I usually do, and this is just a quick little one, I add some contrasts, so maybe bump that up to 50, take down the highlights in case there's some overexposed areas, and then add a little bit of shadows, maybe 15 in case it's a little bit too dark. And then what I do, because you see it's a bit too greenish, I go up to tint here, and to get rid of the green I bump the purple bar up to about 75, and you already see it's getting better, but it looks a little bit too purplish, so I'm gonna add a little bit of warm temperature to about 50. And there we go. With this little quick fix, the colors now look fantastic, don't they?
So the next thing I would like to talk about is the music and the audio effects. To get that really nice feel of your underwater footage, what you can do is you can add music, but also sounds from fish, from the waves, from the ocean. A nice thing to do with your music is to put on a little low pass. It gives it that underwater sound of your soundtrack. So that's a really cool thing that can really enhance your underwater videos. So other than that, probably the best tip of all is just be creative. The GoPro and the other action cameras are really versatile cameras, easy to use, and you don't have to play much settings. So what it really comes up to is the creativity of your clips. So these were probably my best advices to make your underwater video look as good as possible. It's getting late here. I'm in quarantine on the boat in Raja Ampat, which is not bad. But hope you liked the video, and I hopefully see you in the next one.